In the heart of Chicago, Wesley Allen Gibson moved through life completely unnoticed. His days were spent in a soul-crushing cubicle job under the constant criticism of his overbearing boss. His evenings offered no relief, spent with a girlfriend who was openly cheating on him with his own best friend Barry. Wesley had accepted this miserable life as all he deserved. Wesley suffered from debilitating panic attacks that made his already difficult life even harder to manage. He took prescription medication just to get through ordinary days. He had no confidence, no ambition, no direction. He was 25 years old and already completely defeated by life. He believed nothing would ever change. He was wrong. One night in a pharmacy, Wesley's life was interrupted by a woman named Fox. She was beautiful, dangerous, and completely out of place in his ordinary world. Fox told him something that stopped him cold. The father he never knew, believed dead for years, had actually been murdered, and the killer was now coming for Wesley next. Wesley's father had been a professional assassin, one of the greatest who ever lived. And Wesley's father had worked for a secret society of elite assassins called the Fraternity. Fox was a member of the Fraternity. She had come to find Wesley because the man who killed his father, a rogue assassin named Cross, was now actively hunting Wesley down. Before Wesley can even process this information, the action begins immediately. Cross appears, and a violent and chaotic gunfight erupts in the middle of an ordinary Chicago street. Fox grabs Wesley and they escape in her car at full speed, weaving through traffic at impossible speeds while bullets fly around them. Wesley's ordinary life has ended completely in the space of minutes. Fox brings Wesley to the headquarters of the Fraternity, a massive textile factory that conceals the secret organization operating beneath it. Wesley is brought before the leader of the Fraternity, a calm and authoritative man named Sloan, played by Morgan Freeman. Sloan speaks quietly and carries the weight of absolute power in every word he says. Sloan explains something extraordinary to Wesley about his panic attacks. They are not a weakness or a medical condition. They are actually a unique gift. When Wesley experiences intense fear, his body releases a massive surge of adrenaline that enhances his physical capabilities to superhuman levels, allowing him to move faster, react quicker, and perform feats impossible for ordinary people. His father had the same ability. It runs in their blood. Sloan tells Wesley that the Fraternity has operated for over 1,000 years. Their missions are not random. They are determined by a mystical device called the Loom of Fate. The loom weaves fabric, and hidden within the patterns of that fabric are coded names of targets, people whose future actions will cause enormous harm to the world. The Fraternity finds them first and eliminates them. Wesley is given a choice. He can walk away from this world, go back to his miserable cubicle job, his unfaithful girlfriend, his panic attacks, and his mediocrity, and spend the rest of his life as the nobody he has always been. Or he can join the Fraternity, trained to become an assassin like his father, and find the man who killed him. It is not a difficult choice. The training that follows is brutal beyond anything Wesley could have imagined. The Fraternity does not ease new members in gently. They throw Wesley directly into extreme physical conditioning, beating him, pushing him past every limit his body knows, forcing him to master skills that take most people years to develop. He is beaten badly in nearly every early training session. Wesley learns to curve bullets. This is the Fraternity's signature technique, using the adrenaline ability and precise physical control to bend the path of a bullet around obstacles in ways that physics should not permit. The training is painful and exhausting. But slowly, session by session, Wesley begins to feel his father's abilities waking up inside him. Fox is his primary trainer and the person he spends the most time with during this period. She is everything Wesley is not: composed, precise, completely fearless. She pushes him harder than anyone else. She does not comfort him when he fails. She simply expects him to get back up and try again. Wesley finds himself trusting her completely, perhaps more than he should. Wesley begins going on actual missions for the Fraternity. He is good, quickly better than good. The adrenaline ability that spent his entire life expressing itself as panic attacks is now channeled into something extraordinary. He dumps his cheating girlfriend. He walks away from his job. He is becoming someone entirely new, someone his old self would not recognize at all. After several successful missions, Wesley has an unexpected shootout with Cross, the assassin who killed his father. During the confrontation, Wesley accidentally kills one of his own fraternity colleagues, a man he had come to respect named the Exterminator. Cross shoots Wesley in the shoulder before escaping. The wound is painful, but what Cross does next is more important than the bullet. Wesley analyzes the bullet Cross shot him with and makes a crucial discovery. Cross used a traceable bullet, something he had never done in any of his previous kills. All of Cross's previous assassinations used completely untraceable ammunition. This was deliberate. Cross wanted Wesley to be able to trace the bullet. Cross was trying to send him a message. Wesley just had to figure out what the message was. Sloan grants Wesley's wish to go after Cross personally and avenge his father's death. He sends Wesley on the mission to find and eliminate Cross. But unknown to Wesley, Sloan simultaneously gives Fox a secret separate mission to find and kill Wesley. Sloan tells Fox that Wesley's name has appeared in the Loom of Fate as a future threat. Fox agrees to the mission. She does not tell Wesley. Wesley traces the traceable bullet to a man named Pekwerski. Wesley and Fox capture Pekwerski, who agrees to arrange a meeting between Wesley and Cross. The meeting happens on a moving train, a spectacular and violent encounter that Fox escalates dramatically by crashing a car directly into the moving train and causing a full derailment into a bridge over a massive gorge. In the chaos of the train crash, Wesley finally comes face to face with Cross properly. And Cross, instead of simply trying to kill Wesley, does something completely unexpected. He talks to him. He tells him that everything Sloan has told Wesley is a lie, that the Loom of Fate has been corrupted, that Sloan has been using the fraternity for his own personal agenda for years. Cross tells Wesley the most devastating truth of all. Cross is not his enemy. Cross is his father. Wesley's father did not die years ago. He faked his death to escape the fraternity when he discovered what Sloan was doing. Cross has been trying to reach Wesley this entire time, leaving traceable bullets as clues, trying to warn him before Sloan could use Wesley as a weapon. Before Wesley can process this completely, Fox shoots Cross. Cross falls from the bridge into the gorge below. Wesley watches his father die for real this time, right in front of him, killed by the woman he had trusted completely throughout his entire training. Fox looks at Wesley with an expression he cannot read. Then she leaves. Wesley is alone with the truth. Wesley goes back to Sloan, but now he is paying attention in a completely different way. He begins asking questions he did not ask before. He pushes for access to the loom itself. He wants to see the coded names for himself. Sloan is smooth and composed as always, but Wesley notices small things now that he could not see before when he was simply grateful to belong somewhere. Wesley manages to access the Loom of Fate directly, and what he finds there destroys everything Sloan built in his mind. The loom had not named Wesley as a target. It had named Sloan. Sloan's own name had come up in the loom as a future evil years ago. Instead of following the code and accepting his fate, Sloan had hidden his own name from the fraternity and began manipulating the loom's output to protect himself and eliminate anyone who might threaten him. All those missions Wesley went on, all those targets the loom supposedly identified as future threats, many of them were people Sloan wanted eliminated for his own personal reasons, not genuine threats identified by the mystical code of the loom. The entire moral framework that Wesley trained under, the idea that the fraternity existed to protect the world, was a lie built around one man's self-preservation. Wesley presents this truth to the full fraternity, every assassin gathered together. He reveals what Sloan has done. He expects them to turn on Sloan immediately. Instead, Sloan calmly tells the assembled fraternity members that all of their names have appeared in the loom at some point. He has protected all of them by ignoring those results. He asks them, do they really want to go back to following the code blindly? The fraternity members choose to side with Sloan and advance on Wesley. Fox, in the most extraordinary moment of the entire film, makes her choice. She curves a single bullet around the entire room in a perfect circle, killing every fraternity member who chose Sloan, including herself, following the code absolutely. Fox dies following the same code that Sloan abandoned to save himself. Sloan escapes in the chaos. Wesley survives the carnage. He is battered and alone, and the organization he trained with is gone. Sloan has disappeared, a man with the resources, the connections, and the ruthlessness to simply vanish and start over somewhere else. Wesley has nothing left except the skills he was trained with and the knowledge of who Sloan truly is and what he has done. Wesley, now penniless after Sloan wiped out his bank account, apparently returns to his old desk job. Sloan arrives personally to kill him, confident that the man sitting at the desk is Wesley. But the person at the desk is a decoy. Wesley has been planning this moment. He has not gone back to being the nobody he used to be. He never will again. Wesley subsequently shoots Sloan through a window from a considerable distance using a curved bullet, the Fraternity's signature technique, eliminating the man who corrupted everything the organization was supposed to stand for. The shot is precise and final. Sloan, the man who sat at the top of a 1,000-year-old secret society and used it as a personal shield, is gone. Wesley walks away from everything. The Fraternity is finished. The Loom of Fate sits in an empty factory with no one left to interpret it. His father is dead. Fox is dead. The girlfriend who cheated on him. The boss who humiliated him. The best friend who betrayed him. None of that world matters anymore. Wesley Gibson is not that person. He has not been that person for a long time. The film ends with Wesley breaking the fourth wall, looking directly at the camera and asking the audience a question that lands like a quiet challenge. He asks what you have done with your own life. It is not a heroic speech. It is a provocation. Wesley was the most invisible and defeated person in any room, and he chose to become something completely different. The only question is whether the person watching his story will do the same.